Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, down, 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 down. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Glad you made it. Down, 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 down. Welcome back. Glad you made it. It's not a social production. We're doing it. Thank you for joining me once again. It is Friday, March the 8th, 2024. Coming in hot, coming in loud, coming in heavy, coming in louder than your grandma's bingo hall, coming in louder than your grandma's bedroom. That's right. We're doing it. It's Friday, March the 8th. Thank you for joining me wherever you're tuning in from, whether it's Canada, anywhere, coast to coast, down south in the United States, further down south than that, Mexico, south of Mexico, South America, Peru, over there in Brazil, over there in Argentina. What's going on? Over there in Chile. Hello over there in Africa. Hello over there in the Europe, Middle East, Asia, New Zealand, Australia, of course, the Caribbean islands, Jamaica, St. Kitts, friggin' Finland, Sweden. The Swedish meatballs will get there as well, ladies and gents. It's Friday. We're having a ball. If it's your first time, buckle up, buckle down. Where can you find these videos? Every Wednesday and Friday, dropped on Instagram, YouTube, of course. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button on the YouTube channel. Help yourself, help the channel grow. This is how it works. And then check out patreon.com/RobSadri if you'd like to fiscally, financially support the show. We have fun around here. We talk about everything and nothing. And without further ado, if you went with me from the get-go, sending all the love right back to you. You know who you are. Thank you. Mi familia, mi syndicate, we're a gang, baby. We're a global syndicate gang. We're like a big old family, just all over the world, baby, doing it. But enough of that. Let's get into the action. The most action-packed, the most thrilling of podcasts. Full of action, full of thrills. The ultimate backup fighter's backup fighter. When did I get into the world of becoming a backup fighter's backup fighter? First of all, I'll say this, it started very early. I started backing it up probably back in 89. I'll say that, started backing it up in 89. I didn't initially know that I wanted to be in the fighting game, that I wanted to be in and not just any part of the fighting game, because there's there's people who fight, of course, there's coaches, there's, trainers, there's nutritionists, and there's so many things that you learn all these things as you go along the way. But I wanted to focus, I early on, I didn't know what it was, but I figured it out finally. In my early adult life, I figured it's my task, my destiny was to become the backup fighter's backup fighter. That's right. And that's the thing too, because I remember being, you're a youngin', you're out on the, you walk up into circumstances where there's a little bit of a scrap going on. You're like, oh, what's going on? Do we have enough fighters over here? And they're like, yes, it's full of fighters. No need for you to come. Enough fighters around here. That's a street fight, and it's enough fighters. But what you do, you prepare, then you become the backup fighter. But then you realize there's already backup fighters, already people there ready to go. So they're the backup fighters. But then I'm like, okay, all right, I see. But what if I ask myself this? I'm like, okay, the fighters, whether it's on the streets, whether they're street fighters, whether they turn that passion of fighting their cousin or their themselves or any family members or later on peers, just boys and gals jousting each other, whatever the circumstance. If you take that further and you want to go elite, you want to go professional, you dedicate your life to fighting, you do got to realize there's a component of the fight game when something might go awry, whether it's health concerns, extremely dire circumstances where you're like, I don't know, you get stuck in an elevator with a cyborg and you start making out, and then all of a sudden things are clicking. Because it's a fucking cyborg, man, and it's just working out, or it's not, but it's making you question all sorts of things. So you can't make it to the fight, no problem. You call your backup fighter. But guess what? They're always on there. Oh, they never. It's rare that a backup fighter has to actually step up. So they're probably not prepared too. Ideally, they're also stuck in an elevator making out with a cyborg. What a coincidence. What a synchronicity. Who would have thought? Later on, you'll catch up and talk about it and have a pint of Guinness over, pickled eggs, but that's just, and that's when you call the ultimate backup fighter's backup fighter, and that's where I fucking step in, baby. The ultimate backup fighter is for the people who are professional fighters, who have backup fighters, but in dire circumstances, in certain emergencies, the backup fighter is also not avails. And that's where I step in. The backup fighter to the backup fighter. That's the thing. I knew from an early age that I knew I'd have to find my way. I knew I'd have to, but I knew I didn't want to get involved, like initially, like just like, I don't want to I like seeing people do that, but in certain situations, I'm like, they might need backup, or the backup needs backup. That's where I come in. My training consists of, it's not your typical fighting training, because I'll say this, it doesn't, it's one of those jobs that's on call a lot, So I gotta be ready all the time. I'm ready, a lot of fighters, or even their backup fighters, they're ready during the day, but they sleep at night. I'm ready in my sleep. I'm ready during the day. Sometimes I'll have to, because I'll if I'm missing out on sleep, I'll catch up during the day. But that's what I mean. It's 24/7, 367, just all around, doing it big, doing it small, and just doing it all around. That's what I'm trying to say here. But it consists of everything, You got to keep a good, just let's start with diet. I try to, drink as much coffee as I can. I, drink a lot of liquids. Hydration is key for the backup fighter. Beer is great. A lot of beer, a lot of wine. You want to be loose, because you never know in these dire circumstances when the emergency call comes in and the backup fighters can't go and you got to go. So lots of booze, lots of just alcohol, lots of caffeine. You want to be caffeinated to the gills. In terms of, you do want to, it's a lifestyle that's basically, you're walking on a razor's edge each and every day. Cigarettes, I make sure that, as a backup fighter, because this isn't like, there's regular, and then there's the backup fighter. So smoke, at least half a pack a day, I make sure, you don't want to, a lot of people are like, what if I do 9, 10 one day, and then, half a pack the next. How bad do you want it? That's what I say. It's a lifestyle. It's not so much of a, it's not something that you can just be like, one day you roll out of bed, I'm going to be a backup fighter. No, dude, this takes dedication. I don't recommend it to anybody, of course, but I'm not recommending it to anybody either. But I'm not recommend. What I'm saying is I don't recommend things unless it's a product that is being recommended here. But other than that, what I'm trying to tell you is that it's a lifestyle that's, again, it starts with nutrition. It starts with what you put in your body, what you put in your mental, man. Because a lot of it is a mental game. A lot of people crack because they can't even wait as the backup fighter. Because that's the thing I sell in the past 20 years. I've had, how many fights have I? 0.5 fights, so half of 0.5 to like 1.75 fights, and that's even questionable. But you like to keep your margins low. The numbers, the lower, it's not about the numbers of the art of the backup fighter is being avails. It's not actually like, how many fights, because it's not about the numbers game. It's not about the, we're going for quantity rather than quality. No. We are going for quality. We're going for quality, but yeah, quantity is not an issue here. It's not even a factor. It's not even a concern. So the backup fighter, you got to just always be on your toes. Nutrition is key. Diet is important. Lifestyle, how do I train? I don't do anything out of the, I'll get on the subway. I'll train like that. Sometimes, it's rare that I'll catch a train all the way from like, I'll catch a train if I have to from here to like the west side of the city. If I have to train that way, I'll train that way. Walk by, if I walk by a toy store for a second, they got a nice train set behind the windshield, I'll have a peek, I'll have a glance, take it in, watch tape, But other than that, I train it's not so much of like fighting skills that you gotta worry about, or like I don't like to train because it's not a thing that you could like. It's something you gotta prepare for, but it's like it is training. I'll say this, it is training, but a lot of it is involved just training with yourself. So, in terms of like, do I spar? No. Do I grapple? Again, with myself, absolutely. I will between 2 hours a day, 6 to 8 is my, self grapple time. And that's where I just try to contort, really try to twist and turn and see if I can just, my goal is to be able to, at the end of the training session, each and every time, trying to like, I'm trying to come full circle essentially. And that's when I try to insert myself in and out of myself. It's rough. You could do it two ways. There's, you could go through the dig hole. You could insert yourself through the dig hole. That's the ultimate grapple. Or you could do head first, asshole, right there, contort, come back the other side. And that's when that's when I'm like, okay, now you broke a sweat. Now you're challenging yourself. That's when and it's different. One day we'll go fist. One day, right there, fist, right there, in and out. And it takes 2 hours, but we don't fuck around here. Sometimes, again, dig hole, painful. But again, fist, right there, dig hole. I try to get in there and just stretch myself out because you got to remain nimble. Man, oftentimes I've seen backup fighters try to get in there, but they're lacking something. They're like wondering, what am I like? Your nimble is low, fam. You gotta be nimble. You gotta be agile. I will, I'll pour myself a drink, then I'll sit down, but then I'll get right back up. Sit down, right back up. And it's not like I don't actually like have the time frame where like, okay, just sit down for 5 to 10 minutes. Because you want to keep your body, you want to confuse your muscles. You want to confuse your memory. Sometimes you want to sit down for 5-10 minutes, get up. Sometimes you want to sit down for like, I don't know, up to 17 minutes of just being stationary, and then boom, get up. And then it's just like, whoa, dizzy, whoa, vertigo, what is this? And it's lightheadedness, it's nice, where am I? Who is this? You know what I'm talking? So you want to confuse yourself, grapple. Shadow boxing. All my shadow boxing is actually, contrary to popular belief, people like to shadow box in the morning when the sun is out because they're like, okay, if I step outside, there's light. I can cast a shadow against a background of sorts and try to fight my shadow. And you try to shadow box in the light. But that's good for beginners. That's good to start. But eventually, when you're doing it 24/7, you don't want to just limit yourself to daylight because there's only so much daylight. What I do a little bit of, because we're training throughout the entire day. It's not just like, we don't stop, baby. I do a few hours of shadow boxing during the day when I cast a shadow on a wall and I'm trying to catch that motherfucker, but it's always too fast. Oh, fuck. But that's the thing. If I can catch and I have caught it back in 95, 97, a few times I caught that shadow, dude. It was tight. But again, I don't just like leave it up to the, I don't leave it up to the sun and like, nature. So when it's dark, when it's like, if I'll leave a light on, I will cast a shadow on a wall, shadow box that bitch, jujitsu right there. You know what I'm talking about? I will, if you're like, what about, I live in a rural area. What if light bulbs are like, corner stores are limited. There's not much. So if you're in the middle of nowhere, sometimes, put away lots of candles. It's happened to me when the light goes out for whatever reason, you lose a light bulb. Oh, you can't cast a proper shadow. Light up a couple of candles. You will notice they actually cast a very nice shadow. So again, you can get back to your training and enough of the fucking excuses right there. It's like, oh, I don't know how to without the light bulbs. Candles, dude. Do it like our predecessors did it. Candle, light, shadow, fucking right there, dude. Fight yourself in the shadow in the dark. And then that's the thing. What I like to do sometimes is like, and I'll play with the lights, dude. Sometimes I'm fighting the shadow. And then I'll turn off the lights, dude. I'm like, where are you at? And then the shadow's like, where are you at? I'm like, see what I mean? It becomes a thing. You try to catch that shadow in the dark and it tries to catch you. Sometimes I go full light. It's so light outside. There is no shadow whatsoever. It's just, it's blinding lights in here. I can't see a thing. And it's just shadow city. Sometimes, you just gotta work with it. You gotta, if you could get a light curtain or something, have a couple of mannequins. Just, I set up mannequins behind curtains so they cast a shot, fight those shadows. They can, yes, they're stationary nonetheless, but you try to get out, you get around, and it's all about the move. A lot of it, if I were to, 85% of fighting is nutrition, 15% is just, you know, it's just head movement. A lot of, you know, and you're like, whoa, how, you know, I come in with the neck, the head, it's 15%. A lot of it is nutrition, but the rest is just a lot of this, a lot of this, you know, just a lot of that. So but that's the thing, you gotta, you know, again, it hasn't, so yeah, exciting events are happening because the UFC 299 is going up this weekend. So again, I'm just like, and I'm always there as the backup fighter. They know, I know if somebody should fall for whatever reason, God forbid, and then their backup fighter is not avails as well, I'm just putting it out there. Backup fighters, always ready to go. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's the thing. Coaching, you know, I coach myself. I caught myself when I was young and I hit, you know, that's the thing. You sit down you catch yourself at a young age. You have to sit down with yourself. You have conversations. You got to coach yourself. You know, you end up hypnotizing yourself. You put yourself in a trance and you start talking about like, oh, you got to train yourself to eat babies. You got to train yourself to be you got to train yourself to be a cannibal. You want that mentality essentially, not actually do it. And I've come close. I'll eat like, you know, if I get raw steak, I'll fucking, right there. I'll just like gnaw on it a little bit. I'm not going to chew it and like, you know, because that'll lead to like, I don't want to get sick, but nonetheless, I will get as close to getting sick as possible. That's the thing. I'm like, you're an animal, get in there. You know, just mental, I'll play mental games and I'll tell you, get them. And I'll tell myself, get them. Speaking to myself, and I'll get myself. I'll put myself in the tight corner. Oh, what are we doing here? It's just, you know, bobbing and weaving. It's a little bit of the old rope-a-dope, a little bit of the old, you know, doing, you know, skipping. I do a lot of skipping. But that's what it is. I'm always ready. It doesn't happen that it's needed, but when it is, I have it. The backup fighter, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Planet of the Gapes. Gapes. Planet of the Gapes is, you know, it's whether you want to call it an alternative reality, whether you want to talk about, you know, whether it's a potential movie, whether it's a potential story that has happened already in a not so distant past or future, it doesn't matter. Planet of the Gapes, man, you know, this planet consists of just gaping assholes, and that's what it is. Because there are no humans there. There are no, you know, alien life. It's just gaping assholes. That's what it is. Planet of the Gapes. It's the rise of the Planet of the Gapes. And it's just like, oh, gapes versus like whatever other wildlife is out there. And they're wild beasts. They'll eat up anything. They will devour anything. And that's the thing. That's Planet of the Gapes for you. Just want to say that, boys and girls. Ladies and gentlemen, it's March the 8th. Can we, for a second, can we come together and realize that it is, congratulations, it is, man, it's Women's Day, International Women's Day. Shout out to the ladies. Shout out to the females. Shout out to the femmes, the feminines, the females. Shout out to women who, because if it wasn't for women's bodies and their spirits and whatnot, they would, you know, it takes two to tango, but still, like, you know, they get pregnant and stuff. So it's nice. So thank you, ladies, for being able to get pregnant. Thank you for the nice titties, because that is, man, oh man, does the world appreciate you for your entirety, of course, not just your, not just the pups, also there for your brain. But the point is, ladies and gentlemen, that, you know, vaginas, straight up one of the tightest things on planet Earth. So again, shout out to the ladies for that. Shout out to all the mothers out there, to the grandmas, great grandmas. If you're out there still fucking kicking around, dude, hang on. If you can hang on for another couple of decades, we can get you hooked up to a computer. Great grandma can still be around. We could fucking pickle her ass. Just put her in a jar, dude. Put a chip in great grandma, and just fucking, you know, plug her in, put her in the refrigerator. Open up the fridge, grab a cold one. Hi, grandma. What's going on? So that's shout out to the ladies. You know, it's International Women's Day. If you know a woman, congratulate them or something. High five them. If they're willing, consensually high five a tit, grab a tit consensually. If that's the thing, that if you know them, they know you. If it's the vibes, grab it. Today's the day. Today's the day to service your lady. Not just, you know, that's what it is. Yes, there's Valentine's Day. Yes, there's your anniversary. But today, fucking, you know, they're at their work. walk in their work and tell them your man's here, and everybody in the office will clap and celebrate with you. And then go in there and just shut the blinds, shut the curtains, slam a door, clear off her table, just push everything off the table. Oh my God, that laptop is on the floor. It's broken now. It was a MacBook Pro. It's really expensive, but it's worth it, because guess what? Spread them cheeks. Eat it out right there, dude. Everybody's clapping behind the office door. Everybody's like, yeah, Sharon, getting eaten out by her mans. We're all so happy for you. Put a ring on it, Sharon. Yes, Sharon. It's so exciting. I'm so happy for Sharon. So do that if you know a lady, fucking go to town. Today's the day. It's one of the days. Thank God we have so many, right? The point is, ladies and gentlemen, that it takes all of us to tango, but specifically today, if you are a woman celebrating Women's Day, squeeze a tit for all the ones that are, for the fallen ones, and squeeze one for the ones that are still standing and doing it strong. Ladies and gents, boys and girls, let's get a sip of this bad boy. I'll say this. We're all over the place today. And I just want to say, this is a short little joke. It's just a play on little words, and I likes it. I've got nothing else to say on the actual subject matter, because there's so many stories coming in and out with so many. I just want to say, did he do it or did he not do it? Did he do it or did he not do it? I'm talking about P. Diddy. It's just a play on words with did he or did he not? I don't know. There's so many. In my heart of hearts, obviously, when stories like this come out, I'm just like, oh, I hope not. But in reality, I don't know nothing about nothing. But I can't let go of a play on word. Did he do it or did he not do it? Come on. Did he not do it or did he do it or did he not do it? Doesn't matter. Well, it matters. It's significant with did he or did he not. But I can't let go of a good play on words, dude. So ladies and gents, boys and girls, I'll say this. Without any particular order, without any particular agendas, without any particular direction, Sweden, welcome to the NATO. Swedish meatballs are now in the NATO, dude. What does this mean? Swedish meatballs are now in the NATO. I don't know what it means. I think they can now be fucking backed up, and they can also step up. I think Sweden coming full circle is like the backup fighter, because they've been like neutral for a long time, long time, and now they're a part of NATO, which means they're ready to fight, ready to go to war. Sweden might be one of the bloodthirstiest people out there, because it's been a long time that they've never actually gotten themselves involved in any sorts of war. And if all goes right, then they can, which, if that's what your little heart desires, then that's what your little heart gets. But nonetheless, it could just be like, oh, we're gonna just like run strategic, we're gonna just, we're just gonna move a little bit of troops here to Lithuania, or whatever other countries are there in the Eastern Bloc. We're just gonna, we're just gonna do, maneuvers together. As like, 20,000 troops here, 10,000 troops. Oh, it's so exciting. So yeah, things are happening. If we're lucky, things will. I don't know. Things will work themselves out if we're lucky. If we're not lucky, then we might have to like just pop a couple of popcorns and start popping them back and watching from afar and hope that it doesn't further escalate the sitch. What do I know? I know that there's money to be made and there's blood to be shed, and I know Swedish massages can only get you off for so long. Now you're ready to go there and just fucking and it's been like so long you've not been involved, always neutral. Now it's just like, it's like a deprived little child just waiting to be like, oh, let me out of this. Like, oh, I want to go fucking, I want to go scrape a knee. I want to go, because, that's what it is. You deprive a person or a population from anything afterwards. You let them out of the cage and it's like, wow, right there. So the Swedish people might just become like, they might just fucking like feel that fucking Viking blood in them just stir up and just become one of the most bloodthirsty the portions of the population. We'll see how this works out, but congratulations, I think. I don't know how anything works. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, that it's fucking Friday. I hope you're having fun wherever you are in and out of this, in and around this beautiful planet. I'll say this. Dynamic pricing is becoming a thing. Dynamic pricing is at least being talked about. I've never even heard of this term until recently, but maybe you've heard it too. Dynamic pricing is becoming at least a topic of discussion amongst fast food producers. So if you're out there, what is dynamic pricing? Essentially, it's surge pricing. It means that during certain hours of the day when there's high traffic, there's a lot of traffic and it's high as shit. It's fucking high as a kite, dude. This surge is high right now. So or just if surge is high, it just might be like, again, a beautiful Eastern European man who just like to smoke a little bit of dope here and again. Surge is high. When the surge is high, you know you're in for a good time when surge is high. The point is, surge or surrogate, it doesn't matter. Whoever's getting high, whoever's staying low, whoever's medium, well done, let's get it together. The point is that, you know, you might go pay for a burger, let's say $1.99 during reg hours, if it's just the teeniest of tiny little burgers. It's like a little cheeseburger. But then you might go during rush hour when it's lunchtime, and you might end up paying $1,500 for that teeny tiny burger, because it's dynamic price. It's dynamic. It's not just one dimensional where you're like, oh, it's so predictable. I wish this price was just a little bit more spontaneous. Oh, my life is so routine. You know, so hopefully, or some people might like routine. Oh, my life is so, I got such a steady routine. $1.99 for my burger. And I know when everything happens and how it unfolds. And it's just, so you might, you know, it's just nice. It's good to have predictability. It's good to have certain things that are still intact, man. Like a good price burger, dude. But the thing is, when you bring dynamic pricing, again, it's just a roll of the dice. Am I hungry right now? Let's go check it out. It's fucking 11 a.m. Well, how much is the burger? $1.99. Sweet. You come back 2-3 hours later because you're still hungry. It's the tiniest of burgers. It's a miniature burger for a big man that takes multi-miniature burgers to fill him up. So you go back at 2 and guess what? It's now rush hour, son. I'll have a burger, I'll have the smallest of burgers, please and thank you, with the smallest of teeny little drinks. This drink that's this tiny, I want it for me and my body. You'll say that. They'll be like, no problem, $2,755 and plus tax. And you're just, and your asshole just fucking rips open from rage. And that's contributing to the rise of the planet of the gapes. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, that you're wondering to yourself, will it stick, will it not stick? I think consumers have a lot of power. The way to fight this, and I've already started fighting, and I'll let you know, and again, this is all part of flexibility, all part of being nimble, all part of thinking ahead, and adaptability. So if the prices are surging, so if you're telling me the prices are gonna be high during rush hour, fam, the inverse must be true as well. The prices must be super low when everybody is out to lunch. Not literally, but like when it comes to getting lunch, they're just, I'll get to it. This is I fucking fight price surging and price dynamic prices. What I started to do, and I said this, if it starts, I'll start doing this. From now on, when everybody else is asleep, I will be awake. When everybody else is awake, I will be asleep. When everybody else is out there taking dumps, emptying out the can so that they can fill it back up, I'm fucking keeping everything in. Keeping it all to myself. Nothing's getting in, nothing's getting out. What I'm trying to get to is that instead of having lunch during typical lunch hours, I now wait. I now, in fact, wait. I don't eat breakfast, lunch, or dinner so that not in the regular times anyway. I eat it all at around between 3 to 4 a.m. when most regular normal people are snug as a bug in their little beds, just fucking spooning each other and sticking a finger every now and again. And once in a while, getting that invite once in a while, depending on how close to the time of the month we are, like, not right now, Henry. Ask again, see what happens. Bring a little just lay out a little blanket, an extra blanket or two. Offer options, Henry. No means no as well. It's a heavy flow this time. Not today. Or she might be into it. I don't know. The point is it's International Women's Month and also day. And also to fucking fight dynamic prices when they least expect you to fight. So again, don't consume during regular hours. Roll up at 3:33 and be like, I will take that teeny tiny cheeseburger for 25 cents. I don't see any other offers being made. Take it or leave it. Unless you want to go fucking bankrupt, dude, take it or leave it. That's the thing. If everybody starts doing that, then I suppose surge prices will then just evaporate, or it will potentially, if everybody, damn it, I just don't do this. I'm personally not happy about it. Yes, of course, I'm saving. The savings pay for themselves, but God, my sleeping hours are just bonkers. Gotta get rested. But yes, the savings are worth it, but if I tell everybody, then everybody consumes at that time, and then that becomes the surge dynamic hour. God damn it! We were on a good, okay, don't tell anybody about this. It's just between you and me. Do not let this little secret of ours become a secret of theirs. Damn it, we're all in this together. God. Okay. That was a good idea that I should have probably kept to myself, 25-cent burgers. But that's what I'm a giver. Fuck, I can't help it, dude. I can't. I gives and I gives. I likes to. Ladies and gentlemen, AI. Oi. I'm not talking about a British dude or like an Australian fella. Oi. Was AI invented by a British person? A person from the UK? Probably, it makes sense. Probably, it sounds like a British invention. But I'll say this: it's not a British invasion. Not like the ones we had in the past, man. Or maybe it is. The point is, companies are now using AI in their recruitment tools to recruit potential employees. So in the past, when you wanted to go get a job, you'd set up an interview, you'd probably walk in person, maybe with a printed resume, ask to speak with a manager, a man who ages, or somebody who's taking control of their anger, somebody who's in control. The point is, you speak with a fellow or a lady, or maybe you book an appointment with a fellow or lady who's into menaging. And you set up an appointment, you go sit down with them, you show up maybe dressed a little bit nicer than usual, and you tell them why you like to work for the company, hopefully they're employing, and they'd ask you a few questions, few psychology related questions, man, first, because we got to figure out if you're stables. First, we gotta make sure that you're on the levels, man. First, we gotta make sure that you're like, you're on the up and up. First, we gotta make sure that you're not gonna fucking do whatevs, dude. First, we gotta make sure that you're part of the team, man, because this is a team effort. What goes around comes around. The team that eats together is the team that fists together, and the team that fists together is the team that is loose, and the team that's loose is a team that's willing to do anything for each other and go out there and gets it done. The point is, there's going to be an interview, and they're going to ask you psychological questions, a little bit of just life experience. Tell me about yourself. What kind of, do you prefer vegetables or do you prefer meats? Do you prefer, what's your favorite color? Ooh, and why? Maybe they'll show you a couple of ink blots. What's that all about? Maybe they will do a polygraph. Let's go. Maybe they will, attach little fucking, just little metal clips to your nipple, and then just, run it to some sort of electrical device and just give you a little buzz and see how much electricity you can take from the nips area, and see if you could just man up or woman up and just stand there and not move for a couple hours. Maybe they'll do a lobotomy. Because you don't know what kind of company you're getting yourself into. Maybe they'll fucking, maybe they'll waterboard you. Maybe they will, I don't know. Maybe, who knows? The point is, you met with a person. That's the point. They'd interview you in person. And hopefully you ended up, acing the test and mastering it and fucking getting that job and getting that pay raise. And then next thing you know, you're rolling in bread. Next thing you know, you're rolling in dough. Next thing you know, you're collecting checks. Next thing you know, you're getting all sorts of benefits. All right? Fucking benefits right there, up the wazoo benefits. Dental, anal, testicular, vaginal benefits. All sorts of, because you're hired, so you got the job, man. Congratulations, you're part of the team, man. Bring it in, dude. Man, so nice to have good people on the team, man. We're gonna do great things here. Let's get to work. But the team that works hard plays hard, and a team that plays hard gets hard, and a team that stays hard is just, we're stiff, but we get it done. When the night rolls around and Ties start untying themselves. Skirts start blowing in the wind. Because we have industrial sized fans in the office so that we could have wind indoors. All sorts of loosening up of other clothing items. Maybe kicking off a couple of shoes. My God, Lucy. Stinking up the place. It's not Lucy, it's John. All right, John, you're a good guy. Stay. Point is, ladies and gents, that a team that works hard together plays together. But that's the point is that you got interviewed in person, man. That's the point. But now, in 2024, ladies and gentlemen, companies are now using AI to recruit people. So you might be there, and in person, you might be able to make a good personal impression, man. And there's nuanced conversations, man, that you could convey to an individual because they're another human with flesh and bones. If you touch them, they're squishy and soft. But that's inappropriate. Not right now. Not during office hours, at least. The point is, although they're soft and squishy, the job of hiring is now being appointed to, partially at least, AI. So if you're looking for a job, now you're talking to a robot. Now it'll just be no more what kind of color you like or what kind of fruit you like to stick up your face hole, man. It's just straight up analytics. It's looking at your eyeballs. It is taking your pulse. It's inside you, just right below your taint, just seeing how much you sweat per hour. It is tickling your fucking lymphatic areas all over the place. It's just, it's right up in my cleavage, man. It's so it's reading you. And it's answering your questions. And you might get, with a person, you might have gotten further because there was a human element. You're like, man, I really need this job, man. My babies need to eat. And then you find common ground because guess what? That human too also has stupid babies who eat a lot of stupid food. But they're great. Babies and food. All pieces of this large puzzle that keeps us all working together and going around and around and around. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, the AI is now getting in there doing interviews, taking human jobs of interviews. But guess what? Two can play it this way. Reverse it. Flip it and reverse it. Now employees are going to job interviews, preparing themselves with the help of AI, fam. So now it's like one side is fucking doing Jedi mind tricks. Now the other side is deciding to flip it, reverse it, put it on the table. Jedi mind tricks. This bitch coming in with all the right answers. And sometimes that could actually work to your detriment because if the AI picks up that your answers are too good, fam, too good. What is this? Am I interviewing another AI? It'll say that to itself. And dang, there's no second guessing. It's just a program. Oh, quickly put a mark beside this resume person interview. It's probably getting the help of an AI. Too much or not enough. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, I think at one point very soon we will just have AI interviewing AI and AI taking jobs and AI hiring itself. So all in all, it's looking good in the job market out there, I think. I don't know. The point is that AI is a part of our lives now. So if you want to do anything, do it with AI or don't or do. I'm so confused. Essentially, what will this will all lead to uniformity. Yes, and that's what we want. No more individuality. Just everybody working like little cyborgs. Beep, bop, boop in all the right ways. Hopefully, that's the dream, right? I think. The point is that individuality doesn't matter. No, wait. The point is that the human spirit can only... The point is that robots are the future, man. The point is when are we merging, dude? That's the point. So it's just making it more difficult. Seemingly at the moment, it was supposed to make things easier. Now it's just like the company's using AI, giving you a hard time. Now you're using AI, giving a company a hard time. It's just like, but we're ready for the easiness to roll in any minute now. Let the ease be felt. I've never felt more at ease. I do feel pretty easy. I feel good. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, there's a movement you've been hearing ripple effects of this movement, and you've been hearing murmurs, you've been hearing rumors, you've been hearing, I'm not sure if it's a movement. We could make it a movement if you like. But recently I saw a beautiful fellow beautiful Canadian who happens to be a woman. What a coincidence that on this day of days, March 8th, 2024, a beautiful Canadian woman that you're all familiar with is actually one of the spearheads of this movement, you could say. The no makeup look, the all natural look, is kind of sort of right there. It is. Sometimes you just gotta let out. That's the point of this. The point of this is that a beautiful lady, happens to be Canadian, is spearheading the beautiful movement of no makeup. Who is she? You're like, tell us who she is. Let me do it without saying it. Let me do a couple of things. And if you can guess, write in the comments who you think it is by just me not saying it and acting it out for you. Look at this, dude. Where have you seen this sort of scene before? Oh no, help me, I'm drowning, I'm in the middle of the ocean. Oh no, help me, I can't breathe, it's so difficult to breathe. This water is in my lungs, I'm choking. Wish somebody was there to help. If that scene, I'll give you a few seconds. Again, once you're, oh no, I'm choking, water's in my lungs, I'm in the water. I'm very oily and hot in my body. All the abs in the world can help me from drowning. And then all of a sudden, what's that over there? It's a person drowning. That's Baywatch. Clear as day, dude. If you did fucking Baywatch, I'm sure you guys knew that. It's Baywatch. So what am I talking about? A lot of tits in your face. The point is, ladies and gents, that a beautiful Canadian who you're all familiar with, who happened to be in Baywatch when I was a youngin', talking about Miss Pamela Anderson, beautiful Canadian woman, is spearheading the au naturel movement. I, for one, am for it. I likes it, and we're gonna go through this. Makeup versus make down. Makeup versus no makeup. Benefits of makeup. Let's just go through this together. Pros, makeup. You could enhance your look. You could use makeup to enhance your look and attract potential suitors or friends, or just whatever. If you want to enhance your face with makeup, you could do that. So it's good for enhancing your face. You could actually use you could also make up to make yourself look uglier if that's what you want. You could make yourself look, you have options. It's not just for making, typically, it's used to make you look quote unquote prettier or whatever. But you could make yourself look uglier too. That is also an option. I don't want people to limit themselves and tell yourselves just, I gotta make myself look pretty. You don't need to. So makeup could be, to attract or to deter. Makeup, could be, you could use makeup and you could reduce your age seemingly you could make yourself, using makeup, look younger. You could make yourself look a few years younger with makeup. You could. It's a potential, if that's what you're going for. If you are, let's say 125, you could definitely use makeup, lots of makeup, to look to make yourself look like you're a fucking, the hot 85-year-old. I've seen it, it's happening, I've done it. You know what I'm talking about? So it's like, you could do that. You can make yourself look younger. You have the option of not just making yourself look younger. You could actually make yourself look older. You could actually make yourself older. If you're like a 25-year-old or like a 28-year-old, early 30s, and you've done your schooling, you've gone out there in the job market, you've fought inflation, fist fighted inflation, you grabbing all the gold bars that you can fit in your mouth and in between your cleavage and in your purse. I'm talking about your snatch, your badge, your anus, putting all the gold away just because, geopolitical tensions are, it's just something to be. If you can, grab the gold bars, and you are, because you're out there looking at data, you're out there mining data, you're out there looking at graphs, you're out there doing research, you're out there on the field doing field work, you're out there doing all of it, but you're like, I'm 30, I want to get a job at a firm or whatever. And I know I've got the qualities, but what if I gotta, unfortunately, it's a blessing and a curse. I wish I could look a little bit more mature. Now you can. Now you can use makeup to give yourself a little bit of, make yourself look a little bit older. You could definitely do that. So you could use it to increase your age there. If you're like, man, if they only thought I was 35, they might look at me and think of me, if they thought I was a 40-year-old, they might think that this person has all the life experience, or at least some of the life experience or something. So essentially you could make up and look older. You could do that. You could say, not only could you look younger, you could look older as well. Beautiful choices. You could, if you need to, you could use makeup as camo. If you are doing something somewhere where you need to do something somewhere and not be recognized, you could camo the shit out of yourself, dude. You could camo and camo. Just be like, oh, contour, make yourself look, give angles, do all sorts of shit. I've seen a couple of videos on the lines, people, they make the nose bigger, make the nose smaller, give cheekbones where there are no cheekbones, put a cheekbone on her forehead. This lady's all cheekbones, no lips. Oh my God. So, give her, you could do that. You could definitely, but that's the thing. 7 cheekbones, they'd be like, I think I saw a face. But if you're like looking to get away from whatever sitch, 7 cheekbones might just be the answer for you. I'll say this, ladies and gents. No makeup, I'll say this. Oh, before going to no makeup, it's hard right now to like be another race. Like, you could change your skin color with makeup. Like, you could go a little bit lighter, you could go a little bit darker, but it's easier with makeup. You could go a little bit lighter. You'd be like, oh, I want to be a little bit, today I want to be like a little bit lighter. Tomorrow I might be, it's normalized. Now people walk around all bronzed up sometimes and you're like, normals. So you could do that. If you don't want to have to actually get skin grafts to experience what it's like to be another race, although we are all one, just another shade of human essentially. If you want to experience being another shade of person, instead of having skin grafts, instead of having to find skin, do you know how hard it is to find skin grafts? Do you know how many places have to catch fire? Do you know how many people will need to partially be burned so that they're dead, but their skin is still somehow good? Maybe they just get smoked in the back, dead. The back is all good, dude. And they've signed one of those things that says, use me up for parts. When you're registering for your license or your driver's license or whatever. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, the point is that you don't have to get a skin graft. You don't have to wait there every Christmas and wish for somebody to get burned for you to get skin grafts. You could just use a little bit of makeup, go lighter, darker, and walk out one day and be like, I'm a full-blown, whatever, dude. And people will support it. But be careful. You could always go one thing I do want to make, because you could go light. You could go as light as you like. You could play around with bronze, brown, all. You could go dark, but you don't want to go too dark. Don't ever do too dark, dude. We've seen this you've seen it too many countless times. People go too dark, and all of a sudden you're walking out, and they're like, "What is this?" And you're like, "It's makeup." They're like, "That's blackface," and it's like, "It's my makeup." And so they don't do blackface. You could do bronze face. Play with the different shades of bronze, brown, yellow, white, dark brown. You could even do. But don't do full black, dude. That is, ladies, do not do full black, because that is, so I hear is a problem. You could do white. You could completely have fun with the other. You could do white all you want. You could go white all you want. Nobody has a problem with that. Do go light as much. Pour bleach all over your face, dude, and start scrubbing. So those are the benefits, I guess, the pros of makeup. Make down. What about the make down? Taking it down. Honestly, if all your family members, friends, close community members to you suffer a little bit from like dementia or amnesia or whatever, and they're having a difficult time already remembering all the things that they're supposed to remember, maybe it's not such a good idea to use makeup and like contours and like change it up. Maybe stay the same so that the people around you do one for the community. You know what I mean? Take it and remain a little bit stable. Two, I'll say this, it's great to look natural. I, for one, am for the natural look. When I'm looking at a beautiful lady, I like to see it as naturally as possible. Now I get it, a little bit of makeup, I can completely understand. If you want to go full no makeup, fully supports that. I actually like no makeup whatsoever. That's just me. I'm a no makeup kind of guy. If you want to use it, I get it. I respect it. That's all. But I'm saying preference wise, if I'm looking at a lady, I like snow. So when I saw Pamela Anderson, I thought to my child in me got excited. I'm like, oh hell yeah, Pamela Anderson. She's part of a movement that I'm, not involved in, but I likes to be somehow. Not I like to. Yeah, I like to say that. And you're like, man, you're involved in so many things. How do you make the time? It's the things that matter to you, make the time, right? Right? It's just like training. It's just like being a backup fighter. It's, I have the same 24 hours as everybody else, but I make time. It's fucking doable, dude. I'm doing it. So the point is, I saw a beautiful lady, happens to be Canadian, who's spearheading this movement, and I'm like, hell yeah, dude. I'm in support of that. Another benefit of not doing makeup, you could actually potentially risk getting injuries that are inflicted upon your beautiful face because you've been pouring all sorts of creams and you're putting syringes and all sorts of things. You're sticking yourself in the face with all sorts of, oily mixtures, and you're putting foundation on, and you're putting you're doing construction out there on your face. So you're putting on a layer of foundation, then you're adding the details with you got to come in a little bit lighter there, a little bit darker. You're taking like 2 hours to paint your face, man. It's time consuming. It's probably not good for your health. I'll say this, probably not good for your health. And you're like, no, I spend a lot of money. I make sure my stuff is the healthiest. Next point, if you go no makeup, not only is it healthy for your beautiful face, it's also healthy for your beautiful pocket, for most people who could probably use a little bit of help right now. You're like, I wonder what I can, don't spend it on makeups. Or do as you wish. I'm not saying do or don't. I'm just saying that's just things that I noticed that are going on in and around the world. But it's enough of that, ladies and gentlemen. If you wanted to make it up, make it up. If you want to take it down, take it down. I support women who stick with the natural look. I also support women who want to go out there and I don't even know who you are when you take it off. Surprise, surprise. It's like two people in one or multiple people. So it's like, man, if you're into that, I support it as well. For me personally, I like the no makeup look, or like very bare minimum makeup is nice. That's less is more, and less is certainly more, but not when it comes to this podcast. Only more is more. When you want more, you get more. When you put more in, you get more in. Ladies and gentlemen, the new mode of transportation, introducing the all-new improved mode of transportation, ladders and suction cups. Not only could you use ladders and suction cups for transport, from getting from A to B, but also it's a great way of exercise. I don't want to hear people complaining about, I don't have time to transport, and I don't have time to exercise. What if I told you could do both? Introducing the all-new 2-in-1 combo, ladders and suction cups. Let me ask you this, ever encounter a building where it's got multiple floors? Anybody out there? Can anyone out there relate out there? Have you ever encountered a building where it's got multiple floors? How does he know? Yeah, I'm out there with your buildings. Instead of relying on elevators, escalators, and traditional staircases, roll up with your own ladder. Lean it up against something. Climb up. Have suction cups in your backpack. Pull out the suction cups. Stick them on the window. Put the ladder on the next floor. Climb up, suction cup, climb up, suction. It's just climbing and suction cups. Next thing you know, you're exercising. You are way out of breath. You got to the 5th or 7th floor of this building. You almost fell, I'd say, if we're being honest with ourselves, at least 3 times. My God, look at this. Free adrenaline rush? Anyone? Yes. Wake me up before you go. And also before you come, wake me up. The point is, ladies and gents, that suction cups and ladders are the new and improved mode of transportation and form of exercise. The ultimate 2-in-1 package. You're welcome out there. You could DJ, and that's the beauty of ladders. It's not just good for climbing up. You could, if you're on a rooftop. My goodness, have I seen so many times in my lifetime where I've looked upon rooftops after rooftops, and there are people, good people, construction workers, cat burglars, people shooting movies, people doing parkour, people doing all sorts of exhibitionist things and filming and hoping to put it online and get virality. People doing also people just testing their leap, because you're like, I took leaps when I was young, and I like to see if I can leap again. A great way to test if you can leap again is, once again, doing it between 2 buildings, possibly several floors off the ground, like, just fucking 10 floors off the ground. You want to make sure you got a lot of room, and then just jump off from one roof to another. That's the typical way of doing. But let's say you're on a typical rooftop and you're like, man, I don't, normally I would leap. I am a leaper, because but I wish there was a way to walk across this building from one rooftop to another. Guess what, fam? A ladder. If you lay that ladder flat, one end attached to the other end of the building, the 2 ends attached to each end of the buildings, you could walk across or crawl or get under like a little koala and hang, and you could. So ladders, not just for, work every now and again, and suction cups, not just for suction cup enthusiasts and professional skyscraper climbers. It could be for everybody. That's what I say. That's what I'm gonna, and that's if I says it, I means it, and if I means it, I says it. That's where I stand today. Long gone are the days of wishing you had lobster hands. Long gone are those days. A lot of people I've seen crying, being just broken, shattered because of dreams that might not come to reality. They're like, oh, and this one's one that goes out to a lot of people. A lot of people don't talk about it. You wish you had lobster hands. You wish you had little lobster claws, so you could be like, oh, I wish I had lobster claws for hands. But it's unfathomable at the time. And yes, the technology is moving so fast. You're like, maybe in 5 years, maybe in 10. What if I said today? What if I said the waiting game is over? What if I said that we're in charge? What if I said that we have the control? What if I said the past? What if I said the masses have the control of the power? What if I said the power? What if I said the people have the power? What if I said you have to fucking wait? What if I said you could have lobsters and your hands all in one? You want claws, and you want lobster claws, and you'd like the company of lobsters? A lobster in each hand would give you the benefit of having hands and lobster hands, claws for your hands and claws. So now you could be walking around with your lobsters, and you got these lobsters in your hands, and they're, oh, you want to grab a cup of coffee? Grab with your lobster in its hand, and it's your hand basically. You're just grabbing onto the lobster, and it's got claws. Oh, let me sip on this drink. You want to, it's nighttime. We're about to get down and dirty with my lover, you'll say. And both of you have now lobsters in your hands, just playing all sorts of foreplay together. Ooh, the tingling sensation on my nips. Oh, can you unclip my bra? If you give me about 15 minutes, I can. And the good thing about foreplay is that you like to take your time, don't you? That's right. Guess what? A little bit of hand play down there with lobster claws. Ooh, how fascinating, how titillating for everyone. Whoa, what are these senses? Where is it going? Ooh, it's pinching. Ooh, that's sharp. And so you could have it all, ladies and gentlemen. What I'm telling you is that we've got the power. Don't let them tell you that your dreams are dreams, man. Don't let them fucking, hold you down. Go after and get it. But also, ladies and gents, I just want to say that I love you. Thank you for joining me again. And again, UFC 299 is coming up. Should the backup fighter be called to show up because God forbid something happened to one of the fighters or they're just busy? And should that backup fighter once again be also busy again, stuck in an elevator, making out with a cyborg, deciding who's gonna take custody over the kids that are half robot, half babies? Your man's is fully avails. Sure, I'll be there with a cigarette in the corner of my mouth and my wife beaters intact, ready to go, ready to pounce. Should the occasion call, you know where to call. No, wait. You don't know where to call. You could DM me. You could totally DM me. Again, thank you for joining me once again. Where can you find these videos? Every Wednesday and Friday, they're dropped on Instagram and on YouTube. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram. Help your boy, help yourself. Tell your family and friends. This is a little community that's growing. It's a little production that's just, taking our sweet ass time, because that's the way growth happens. Naturally, of course. It's fucking, as natural as it gets. And if you like to support your boy, and if you like these shows, go ahead and subscribe on the YouTube channel. I'll say it again. Subscribe on the YouTube channel, and then you're like, oh, I was just walking to the bathroom to take a dump as the show is coming to a conclusion. Oh, I'm gonna walk and jerk. As you're walking and jerking, subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you get a friendly reminder. And again, you help yourself, you help your boy, and you're like, how else could I help? You could tell your family and friends. You could tell your fucking family and friends. That's how you could help. You fucking help her there. It's a beautiful, sexy, gorgeous helper. And you're like, man, I want to help even more. Guess what? Do you want to be a contributing member to the syndicate, to the familia? You can check out patreon.com/RobSadri. That's where you can fucking help if you'd like to, for as low as you like or as high as you like. Go nuts! I'll be back here next week. Peace out.